All right, so this is our new local green salad. It has a cucumber green goddess dressing, our melted tomatoes from our last menu. We have some cucumbers also on the outside as garnish. A crostini, I'm not too sure on the crostini yet. I might trim it down a little bit, but we're definitely gonna go for this kind of look. And Point Reyes blue cheese. So it's definitely a more friendly local green salad. It's a green goddess dressing, so it's a cucumber puree. It has sour cream, yogurt, salt, pepper, and a little bit of vinegar. So it can be gluten-free. It will be gluten-free without the crostini. All right, so like I said, guys, I do apologize. There's only 2 of the peach salads, and that's because peaches are still about a week or 2 out of season. So by the time we're getting ready to roll with the menu, we will have the peaches, and it will be a Frog's Hollow peach, which is out of Brentwood. So one thing that you guys are really gonna start to notice is we have a lot of farms coming at you. A lot of these farms and places are places I've been familiar with because I've worked with them for the past 10 or 15 years. And they've been handpicked by Chef Eric, Michael Brennan, and myself. So these are some really good farms. Once we start to get into the Snake River, I love Snake River Farm. I've been using it for the past 10 years. It's just a great product, far superior than almost a lot of the beef that's on the market. So our next salad is our peach salad. On this peach salad, you are going to notice a peach puree on the bottom. We wanted a salad, not salad. So this is almost modeled after the tomato salad that we have right now. It has some fresh burrata. The peaches, they are also marinated in the white balsamic with a little bit of arugula, and I don't think my guys put the pine nuts on it. This will have pine nuts on it as well. Curry cauliflower salad. So on the side, you're gonna see a sweet potato hummus. We will also be utilizing that when tables have long ticket times. So you'll get that with hummus. It kind of plays double duty. It is a sweet potato hummus. We have roasted cauliflower. The cauliflower is just salt and pepper, roasted in the oven until it gets nice and crispy. It is mixed with a curry vinaigrette and lots of arugula. On top, there is nuts, spiced nuts. So it will have almonds, basically whatever we kind of have odds and ends laying around the kitchen, but it will always be nuts, and we'll try to avoid peanuts. Cumin, cinnamon, a little bit of coriander, a little bit of cardamom, chili flake. The last salad we're going to have today is our beet salad. I think we had something similar to this before. This is one of Josh's salads. We roast the beets and then we marinate them. It's almost a broken vinaigrette, but there's really no vinaigrette on there. So if someone asks for dressing on the side, this one, we're gonna have a problem because the beets are already marinated. So this one we can't do on the side, just keep that in mind. We're using a Bermuda Triangle on here, which is the same cheese that we're using on the California cheese board. Super good, I really like this salad. We have some toasted morconas. And then right now we have citrus. This is gonna go to the Garcia Farms citrus. Garcia Farms is south of San Luis Obispo. Yeah, and then we garnish it with some candy striped beets. So we'll start with the Snake River Farms tartare. Snake River Farms is in Boise, Idaho. They are committed to producing the best quality beef. It's really an amazing farm. The plating on this is going to be a little bit different. My square ring didn't come in, so this is actually going to be on a square ring mold, and it is supposed to have a sous vide egg on it. It will be a sous vide egg yolk, but the flavor that you're going to get is definitely what we're going for. I try to keep it traditional, so it has shallots, capers, parsley, lemon juice, and Worcestershire, a little bit of Dijon. It's probably one of my favorite dishes from this menu. The crab cake. SRC, during our chef's conference, we decided that there were going to be a couple core recipes that were going to be carried out throughout the company. And one of those that was carried was the crab cake. So although this looks like our regular crab cake, it's a different recipe. So in this crab cake, you're going to notice a couple differences from what we have now. It does have roasted corn in it. It does have onion. It also has bell peppers in it. It's going to be a flakier crab cake, and it's not going to be as dense as the one that we had before. I know on your menu right now it is still the same crab cake, but this is a crab cake that we're going to move to. It has a sriracha aioli, and it also has a black bean ragu. Next, we have gone to our lamb ribs. Agrodulce does mean sweet and sour, so that's what the sauce is. You're not going to get too much of that sweet and sour because it is on the lamb. But if you try the sauce by itself, it definitely has a really nice balance of sweet and sour. You know, same preparation as before. We're gonna fry the lamb ribs. After we fry them, we're gonna pick them up. We're gonna toss them in the sauce and garnish them with the pomegranate seeds. This also has citrus on it, so this will go back to the Garcia Farms citrus. The preparation is the same rub, same cooking style, but we changed the sauce. So the sauce is a pomegranate glaze. The pomegranate glaze is gonna have pomegranate molasses. It's got a bunch of spices in it. So we definitely wanted to match the lamb with those spices. So it has allspice, a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of chili flake. That is all cooked down with balsamic vinegar. So you're gonna have a really nice balance of sweet, tart, and then pomegranate. So this is our Cape Grim short rib. We've been using Cape Grim for quite some time now. It is off the coast of Tasmania. So the short rib is actually cut from the rib of the cow, just in case you guys do want to know that. It's an area that's not really utilized. So once we get into these cuts of steak and you see things that are braised and that are cooked for a longer period of time, it's because if we were to just try to eat it right with, you know, like doing a classic sear and a cook and put it in the oven, it's going to be super tough. You wouldn't be able to eat it. So this is a term that the chefs use, slow and low. That's how we cook these short ribs. They are cooked slow and low. I believe we cooked that for a good 2.5, 3 hours, and it should be pretty tender. So it's gonna go with our red crushed potatoes. We have the short rib that we are going to try to stand up. Michael Brennan showed me how to do it, and for some reason I could not get it to go today. The Brussels sprouts. So the Brussels sprouts will be the Brussels sprout leaves, and they're tossed in a honey mustard vinaigrette with a red wine demi. Actually, do we call it red wine? So the red wine is also the borderlays. So the red wine is, you know, caramelized carrot, celery, and onion. It's cooked down. It's, we add beef to it, then we deglaze it with red wine, let that go down, and then we add our demi to it. So you're gonna notice that the color and the consistency of this sauce is definitely gonna be a little bit thicker than what we have had in the past. But the color should give you indication that it has good flavor. The next steak that's in front of you, that is actually the Cape Grim flat iron. So the flat iron comes from the shoulder. Usually the shoulder does have a membrane that runs through it, so it's kind of thick. So when they get this specific cut of meat, they actually cut with the grain, and that makes it easier to eat and a better flavor. It is a Cape Grim, so you're gonna have that name recognition again. You know, it is, Wagyu beef, but it's only $32. So for those people that are looking to experience something a little bit different, this is gonna be your cut of meat right here. And another thing you guys will notice is that on all of our steaks and chops, we no longer have them with certain items. So your New York doesn't come with bacon, mac and cheese, or onion rings. What else? The ribeye doesn't come, actually the ribeye does come with that on the prefix menu, but it doesn't come with the vegetables and the fingerlings anymore. The set that you guys are seeing in front of you with the vegetables, that's what our steaks are gonna look like now. And the reason that we did that is because we have some really amazing sides. So we really need to, you know, look at the sides that we have, and if someone, you know, we haven't really gotten into the substitution thing yet, but we're trying to wean away from that. Nothing is worse for the cooks on a Saturday night to have tons and tons of substitutions. It's a lot easier for us to give you guys one plate and go. So that's what we're leaning towards with that. So we took our pappardelle pasta, but we took out the pork. Okay, so this has an Alfredo sauce with it. I think it's a little more people friendly. It has mushrooms, spinach, and the melted tomatoes. I think it's pretty good. I definitely like the sauce on it, and it is a vegetarian option. Not vegan, but it is vegetarian. Today it is Jadori chicken, but once we get rolling with our menu, it will be pasture bird. Pasture bird? Yeah, but it will have the same setup as we have today. So you'll see couscous on the bottom, and we kind of took it Mediterranean. So you see some olives. I don't believe we put the sun-dried tomatoes in there. They're in there? Okay, olives, sun-dried tomatoes. He made a dark chicken jus, I guess we'll call it, a dark chicken sauce. So he roasted off the dark chicken, and then he actually let the dark chicken cook in the sauce. So it should be really nice, and you should have a really nice, deep, rich flavor on that. And then we garnished it with feta. So we will no longer be having the cioppino. if you work in this restaurant, you do know that we do get a lot of requests for just salmon with veggies. So we are honoring that, and now we are going to go with our fingerling potatoes. Roasted vegetables, but this is almost a ratatouille. So it should have some nice tomato in it. It's deglazed with balsamic, salt, pepper, the Ora King salmon, and then I believe Josh garnished with a little bit of greens on top. Around it is the spring pesto. So even though it's a pesto, I don't want you guys to be intimidated by it. There are no nuts in it. There is cheese, so there's no nuts in it whatsoever, so don't worry about allergy with this dish with nuts. Ratatouille. So it is bell pepper, onion, zucchini. It's sauteed down. We add a little bit of tomato paste. That is deglazed with balsamic vinegar, so that's the acid that you're getting. And it has some basil, salt and pepper, shallot, and garlic as well. So this is going to be our new burger setup. The first thing that you will notice is that it is a brioche bun with Parmesan. It's super good. I really enjoyed it. So did Chef Eric. And we took it back a little bit. There's no avocado on there. It's lettuce, tomato. We actually did a smoked cheddar on there, so you'll definitely get that smokiness. And then we took our BEELER'S bacon, and it also has the BEELER'S bacon on it. I'm sorry? BEELER'S. It's a brand. It's a brand. It's just like the slab bacon that we have now, but it's a much more renowned brand, known. Yeah. Neiman Ranch is actually different ranches, so you can become part of Neiman. They're definitely known for humane, how they take care of their livestock and their cattle, sustainable. So this is going to be our bone marrow. We're still working on the presentation of it, but you will notice that there is short rib on it. And it also comes with the roasted garlic and the toast points. So usually when they serve this, what your guests are going to do are scoop it out, put it on the toast, and eat it that way. You can also put the short rib on it. I kind of envision the short rib more like a marmalade, but I don't want to say marmalade because I think that's a little confusing. So we'll just do shredded short rib with it. But it will be cooked in a red wine sauce. To be very honest, this is going to be the pieces of the short rib that fall off or that can't be used. So it's utilizing this. So guys, what you guys have coming at you right now is our truffle macaroni and cheese. So this is a white sauce. Yes, we do still have the macaroni and cheese with the cavatappi, but this is going to be something that we're going to sell for a side. It doesn't have mushrooms in it. It will have the broccoli. It's a white cheddar cheese sauce. It does have truffle butter. It has blue cheese, goat cheese, Parmesan, fiscalini. There's no cheddar. Blackberry Barrios. Okay, so what they do is they take some of the berry puree and they cook it down. They add a little bit of gelatin to it, and they add it to a whipped cream base, and then they form it. That's it. That should have a nice ginger financier that they crisped up a little bit. You should have lavender Marcona almonds as well as a whipped creme fraiche on there. It's a lava cake. We actually made like a cherry Garcia ice cream. So it has the brandied cherries in it, and then they spin it and they add white chocolate. It's our regular lava, and then they do whipped cream with the reduced liquid of the cherries. So it has like a cherry whipped cream right on top. It's really good. A pois is it starts out just like peppercorn demi. It has the peppercorn, it has a red wine sauce, it's reduced down. Then we blend it. So we put it in the blender, we blend it. After that, you actually add enough brandy until your tongue starts to itch. So you are going to taste a brandy. So we, myself, Chef Eric, and Josh all really like our poivre sauce. It's the one that we use in banquets. So it's just gonna find its way to the line. It's the same base as a peppercorn. It does have cream. It does have cream though. The pois is finished with cream.
So it starts as peppercorns?
Yes.
And then add brandy cream?
Yeah, it's pureed, so you're not gonna have chunks of peppercorn in it anymore. And it's a lighter. I believe the sauces will come out with the entrees, the two that are different. Demi? Yeah. Porcini mustard, for some of you old timers, you might remember this. We had it on the menu before. It's very, very good, and it's very, very potent. So the process of that is we take the porcinis. Who asked me that? We take the porcinis, we reduce them with balsamic, then we add shallots. We still let it go down. We puree it in the blender. So it's a super thick, rich paste. And then it's mixed with Dijon mustard. So it's going to be super strong and very potent, but it's really good. It's going to be a great accompaniment to the pate and also to the steaks. It's dried porcinis, so they're whole porcinis. Then we put the balsamic and we let it go down, and then we add some shallots to it, give it a little onion flavor. It's cooled down, pureed, and then we mix it in with Dijon mustard. So that's where the mustard aspect of porcini mustard comes in.